If you like this type of video and content, please comment, like, share, and subscribe to me here on YouTube to let me know. If you want to go even further beyond, you can follow me on Twitch. It would mean the absolute world to me if you stopped by and said hi. Now, let's get into the video.
It's been a while. As you can see, I got a new desk. So, starting off with that, this is going to be my official review for the NYXI Warrior controller for the Nintendo Switch. It also supports the GameCube, the Wii through the Wavebird adapter, or the wireless adapter, and Nintendo Switch, obviously, Switch 2, and Windows. So let's get into it, alright? This controller feels great. Like, I wasn't used to the mouse click buttons at first, and then it just kind of clicked with me, if that makes sense. Because when I started initially using it to play Smash Brothers and Metroid Prime 4 on the Nintendo Switch, and then Nintendo Switch 2, it just kind of just hurt my knuckle here and the tip of my thumb. That being said, I have a couple gripes as well. Noticeably, this stick, it's like an Xbox controller stick, right? That's not necessarily what you want out of a GameCube style controller, but it's alright. I wish it was dome capped, similar to the GameCube controller or the Wii Nunchuck or the Xbox Elite Series 2 dome cap that they have. So, let's talk about latency. It is damn near perfect when it comes to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 consoles. I got my grandmother the same controller and she loves it. Starting off from that, it is a really nice and familiar form factor of a controller. However, I do feel as if the handles could be a little more spread out, like angled this way a little bit. Another gripe I have with the controller is that even though this can turn on the Nintendo Switch console, it cannot do the same for the Nintendo Switch 2. And that's understandable, but I do think that they could possibly update the controller through a software update and allow that to happen. Latency is good. Controller feels nice. It feels premium. Now let's talk about another feature on the back. It has rear paddles. I personally just use these for the grips that they have, the little studded grips. I do not actually use them as a button. They feel nice, but I just don't see myself using them with a GameCube controller, if that makes sense. If I were to compare it to any other device, I would say this is like the Xbox controller of the Nintendo Switch consoles. Because it's as big as an Elite Series 2, and I will bring that out for a comparison right now. And taking a look at the form factor, it's nearly identical. Now, let's go back to the gripes, and with the stick specifically. I really wish you could put a dome cap, or it came with a dome cap, but however, it comes with a C-stick, which I enjoy, but it also comes with a C-stick that looks almost exactly like this. So, as to keep it as minimal and original as possible, I just kept the stick that it came with. Here's the back of the box, and you can see all the features that it has. Hall effect sticks, adjustable hall sensing analog, triggers, which are nice, I have them on the lowest settings, making them hair triggers. The rumble's nice, and the micro switches, which is also an initial gripe that I got used to, they feel fine. The HD rumble I want to play Luigi's Mansion 3 with, so I could do the ending or midway progression or whatever it is that you gotta find the other boos for, since my other USB PowerA GameCube controller didn't have rumble. But as you can see from the features, it is a good and decent controller. It's amazing for its price. This is what's all in the box. A slight unboxing here. The boxing to me does feel premium. It's really nice, honestly. It kind of reminds me of an Apple box, or like an iPhone box, or any type of Apple device box. Here's some things that it comes with. It comes with this cable, which honestly I don't know what this is for, but it also comes with a long charging cable, which I use, and here is a little wavebird like thing to sync the controller with. You hold this right here, and you hold the sync button right where my finger is, and it pairs basically instantly. That's how it is compatible with the GameCube and the Wii, obviously, if you didn't know that. And it also comes with this cover for the back paddles. So, like I mentioned before, it basically just covers this. You pop it out like that, and you're good to go to pop it back in. You angle it downwards, and just snap it into place. But the other stuff that comes with the controller is a list of their other products that they have. Basically showing off their branding, which is good. And an instruction pamphlet. And to put it back neatly in the box, this is what I do if you ever struggle with putting something back in the box. I just hold it like this, and it's neat. So let's drive the points home. The battery life is great. I've only had to charge this twice. The battery life on this is almost on par with my Elite Series 2 controller that I have, and that I've also had Holofix sticks put in, which are great. The one thing that I can say is that I love how this controller feels going off of 2 to 3 months of gaming on it. And it just feels nice. The latency is great. If you're looking for ultimate compatibility with a lot of devices other than the PlayStation and Xbox consoles, here it is. It literally lists what all you can play with. Pretty sure you can play this on a Mac as well, as I was also able to connect this to my iPhone, which is pretty great, honestly. Played some mobile games, and even though mobile games, not all of them support controller, this one seemed to do just fine. The latency was good, similar to the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller that I got for mobile games, but for the Switch, it's basically perfect. And for the Switch 2 as well. Alright, so those were the pros and the cons. The initial one that I can think of is everything is mouse clicky, which is discomforting when you start off. And you get used to it, and it just feels perfect after that. One con that I have is the D-pad. It has some gap to it. It honestly doesn't feel the best. But if you are an auditory person, you will love the clicking sounds that the D-pad makes. So I honestly don't know if that'll come through or not, since I have noise suppression active And earlier I mentioned the left stick. That is still a gripe for me. I think it's basically perfect of a controller, as is. And NYXI, if you're watching this, if you have a dome-shaped controller for this, please send it with the controller as is. I would love it, and I think a lot of people personally would just love it, the feel and everything, because it keeps it original. I would also like the ability, if you're going to update the controller hardware-wise, to increase the tension, because even though, I mean, honestly, these feel kind of loose, in my opinion. But that's it for the sticks. And like I said, Nixie, if you're watching this, please, please, please send me a dome stick for it, because I cannot stand that left stick. That's gonna be all for the video. I hope you liked my take and my view on the NYXI Warrior controller. Please like, share, and subscribe. And with that, I'm out.